All right, we're going to go over slope on a graph and add some more stuff. Just want to make sure that everybody has a really good handle on this, because slope is really, truly one of the most important things in math. It will take you from every math class into calculus here. So, all right, so let's go over this again. Remember that slope indicates the steepness of a line, and it also tells you the direction. And how we know that is from understanding that slope is the change in vertical over the change in horizontal. So that is like saying change in y over change in x. That little triangle there means change. So if we let the change in vertical tell us if it is going up or down, that's going to come from knowing if it's positive or negative. So if we have a positive line, positive slope, a line with positive slope, that's a line that goes up from left to right. So here's what I'm saying about letting the positive and the negative. So a positive slope is saying that my change in y is going to be positive. My change in x always goes to the right, always is positive. If I have a negative slope, okay, now going from left to right, like from a point here to here, my change in y is going down, so it's negative. But again, my change in x is always going to go to the right, so it's always positive. So it's the change in y that tells you about whether it's going up or down. So last time we looked at some segments and lines on graphs, and we said I can figure out the slope by figuring out the change in y and putting it over the change in x, so creating a ratio. So I'm looking at it from this point here to this point here. So my change in y is going down, so I know that's negative. I'm going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to have a slope of -5 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and that can also look like this. Like the negative is being associated with the numerator, which is telling us the up or the down. But I can have the negative out front. All right, let's look at one more like that. But now let's break them apart into pieces. So I'm going to have the slope of section A, slope of section B, slope of section C. So in A, we're going down 4, so that's going to be a -4 going down. And I'm going over 2. Now with slopes, we can reduce that and understand that 2 goes into both those, so we get -2 over 1, or we could just say -2. All right, let's take a look at B. So now from this end to this end, I'm going up. Whoa, let's try that again. Going up, so it's going to be positive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to have +5, and I'm going over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, I can reduce it. 5 goes into 5 once, so I could just say 1. All right, my last one here, part C, I'm going down again. So I'm going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's going to be negative 6. And over 2, so I have negative 6 over 2, which can be reduced to negative 3 over 1 or just negative 3. Okay, so that's looking at it on a graph. I want to introduce one new thing here. Or first, let's kind of summarize that. Positive slope is when the line goes up from left to right. So that's like that. Negative slope is when the line goes down from left to right. So that's looking like that. So horizontal measure is always to the right. And I can look at any 2 points on the line, and the slope is going to be, slope from any 2 points on a line is the same. Okay, if I have this line, it doesn't matter if I do the slope from here to here, or if I do the slope from here to here, or if I do the slope from here to here. All of those have the same ratio of the change in y to the change in x. Okay, so this is one new thing I was going to have you do on your homework, and I want you to just really use what you know to think through this, and I think it will help us understand slope even better. Okay, so I'm going to start at a point, and I'm saying, given this slope, what's going to be the next point as I move from left to right on the line? Well, first I got to think about this. This slope is negative. So I know this line is going down from left to right. Okay, if I have this point, remember that slope is change in y over change in x. So my change in y is going to be going down 3. So if I take this point, and my y value has to go down by 3. So 4 minus 3 is going to be 1. My x value, change in x, is on the bottom of our slope fraction. It's going to go up 4. Okay, so I have negative 5 plus 4 is negative 1. So going from my original point and using a slope of negative 3/4, I'm going to get this point next. Let's try one more. And this is the one that's actually an example on your homework. If you need to refer back to this to know what's happening. Oh, and I forgot to change it though. Let's change this real fast. Let's give a new point. Well, then this might not be the one on our homework. So let's just make one up. So I'm going to say a point of 3, negative 7. And my slope is going to be negative 2/3. Okay, again, that slope is negative, so I know it's going down. Slope is change in y over change in x. So when I look at this, right, my y is going to start at, so let's look at this. My y is going to start at -7, and it's going to go down 2. So I'm going to subtract 2. That's going to give me -9. My x is going to start at 3, and it's going to go over 3. So I'm going to add 3, and that's going to be 6. So my new point would be an x value of 6, y value of -9.